Boop, boop, boop,
Da-da, da-da, do-do-do-do-do.
boop. Boop, 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 boop.
Da-da, da-da, do-do-do-do.
Boop, 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 boop.
Three guys and a bear talking about some playoffs. And now here's Coach Grandor. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Playoffs?
Playoffs.
Playoffs? Talk about playoffs?
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 Off
Playoffs? All right.
And that's it, everybody.
So welcome. We had football playoffs, everyone. It was
What?
wacky.
Wait, we had what? We had playoffs?
We're not doing this again. We're not doing this again, Ryan. So we also had news.
Someone's talking about.
Oh, there was news.
There was news.
Yeah, there's a bunch of news. Yeah.
So,
Big news.
A lot of firings.
As
First-
always is nice at the end of the season.
Yep.
You know?
First, we'll go with one that happened a little while ago. That was Jets firing Mike LaFleur.
Indeed.
How do you feel
I'm
about
very. I look. I am extremely happy to see it. Mike LaFleur. I know everybody was like, "Oh, hey, LaFleur, Shanahan guy, he's pretty good." Yeah, well, except that like the offense was like 30th and 31st the past 2 years in his offense. So like it's been pretty bad over here. And what do you know? It was a bad idea to have a rookie QB, rookie head coach, and rookie offensive coordinator all at the same time while not hiring a QB coach. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Nah,
See
that
who
doesn't
we get.
make sense. That should work out. The Chargers fired their offensive coordinator, Joe Lombardi, because Chargers.
I mean, if you saw that game.
Yep. Or really just any Charger game, to be honest, this year. A good chunk of them. And then, I think Sinvicta's favorite one, the Buccaneers have fired Byron Leftwich.
Yeah, but they forgot one. They closed the door before getting rid of the other one.
Yeah.
I wonder why that is.
I don't know why, but
I don't
for
either.
some odd reason, there are people out there who think that Todd Bowles is a good head coach, and I'm not going to honestly watch the Buccaneers next year. I just don't care.
You don't want to
Todd Bowles is
watch
gone, I
Todd
just don't
Bowles
care.
coach up a random quarterback?
No, whether we get Gino, whether we get Derek Carr, whether we get Tom, I don't care. I really don't care. Todd Bowles, like I thought I hated Schiano the most, but or Raheem Morris the most, but I actually hate Bowles more than any other of our coaches ever.
I mean,
I'd rather have Gruden back, to be honest. I'd rather have Gruden.
It actually is fun how we've seen Todd Bowles drive Rob insane. Now he's drove Sinvicta insane. Who knows who's next?
It's amazing though that it is the same way, which is that like because even in that game, which we'll go over, but like it's just Todd Bowles' extremely conservative play calling is just the worst.
He's
It's the
so
worst
bad.
to watch. Yeah.
He's so fucking bad, and I hate him.
It's like a coach from the 70s came into the modern NFL.
Then we also had, this isn't really news, but Peyton Manning on the Manning cast saying, I don't know if I've ever made a halftime adjustment in my 18-year career. I think it's the biggest myth in football. You go in, you use the bathroom, you eat a couple oranges, and then they say, all right, let's go.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah, that is very believable,
Yeah,
to be honest.
There's not like some major like shift in the play calling or like strategy that goes into halftime.
Yeah.
It's what Peyton literally said.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they game plan for a week, and then they're not going to just like...
If anything, they're just going to be like, guys, can we quit fucking around? All right?
Yeah.
Don't play.
I like, oh, God, they're running the ball now. We better change.
Yeah.
I will say, though, that, like, I think there's an element of, like, the play calling will probably change somewhat in halftime while the coaches have time to sit back and think about what's going on, right?
I think it's more of like a regrouping of being like, all right, are we like, what are we doing wrong? They're kind of figuring out what they already knew. They're just kind of being like, all right, we need to really focus on covering him because we knew he was going to do this, but we didn't know it was going to be this bad. So they like those types of, but they're not like rewrite the game plan.
Yeah, but although certain coaches will be like, "Wow, our running back had a great first half. Let's make sure that we don't run him at all in the second half." That would be a good idea.
Just way too common, honestly.
Yeah,
I knew that us winning the NFC South, I knew that was a blessing and a curse because that was like, well, Bulls they're probably gonna keep him after this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Chargers also fired quarterback coach Shane Day.
Ooh.
So Chargers
cleaning house a little over there.
I mean, you hit the point where you're like, guys, we have a very good quarterback and we are wasting him. And if there's somebody who knows what it's like to waste quarterback potential, let me tell you, it's fun.
The Chargers.
It's the Chargers, yeah.
It's the Chargers.
No.
Hey, you know what? I'll take my one Super Bowl. I don't give a shit. That was a fun year. Also, I think that's about it, unless I'm missing something. So we can probably get into the games.
That's probably true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Geno season.
Geno season
is over.
Why?
It was a good first half.
It was. I really thought he had the magic in him, man. That first half was looking real nice.
Yeah.
It was looking fun. It looked like the Seahawks were going to make an actual game out of this game. They were leading, and then the 49ers were just like, hold on. Let's not have that happen.
We've got Christian McCaffrey.
It's like they went to halftime and made some huge shift, and we're like, oh, hey, look, we can play football.
Some real good oranges at halftime.
I heard Peyton Manning told me on a television.
This was just, Brock Purdy, you guys might not know this, but he was Mr. Irrelevant.
Mr. Irrelevant?
Yes, he was Mr. Irrelevant. And now guess what?
He's on his way to the divisional round.
Oh, win the Super Bowl this year.
Dude, legitimately though, the Niners might be Super Bowl bound.
I feel like we've felt that way since like week 15.
Yeah.
Easily.
Which is wild to think about, that their QB is, compare that to the Jets, who had the second overall pick QB who was benched. They have literally the last pick in the draft as their QB, and he threw for 300 yards in a playoff game and 3
touchdowns.
Can you imagine
if the Browns just took Brock Purdy instead of spending a bunch of money and all that product?
Man, there was a graphic on. I was looking at the gym, and there's a graphic on TV today that showed like the top 5 most paid quarterbacks in the NFL all had losing records this year.
That is crazy, honestly. But I will say that he's got a very good supporting cast to help him.
Of course.
Right.
But but even still, like, Zach Wilson had a very good supporting cast, and
Yep.
I wouldn't say Christian McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel comps to the Jets cast are like.
Without even mentioning Brandon Ayuk and George Kittle and Elijah Mitchell. And
however,
et cetera.
That's fair. That's fair. However, I will also mention that Trey Lance and Jimmy Garoppolo both played with these same weapons on this same team, and I'm gonna be honest, Brock Purdy looks better than both.
He does. I agree.
I'm not trying to downplay Brock Purdy. I do think he's doing great. I think he's going to be their starter, and he deserves it for how he's played.
Yeah, Purdy's now the guy.
Yeah.
You guys think they're there yet? I wonder if that's how they feel on the Niners fan.
I strongly felt that this game was going to be a determining factor, and he passed with fucking flying colors, dude. Like he looked more comfortable than he did in the regular season.
He's a rookie who was Mr. Relevant, who looks more poised and better than Trask or Garoppolo combined in any of their games. And I think that Purdy, it's not even just hype anymore. Like, he's actually like legit good, and you find the best players at the bottom of the draft because they earned their way there. They know that they've got to prove something.
Yeah.
And they're doing it. It was just like you guys said, like they had Trask and Garoppolo with almost the same amount of weapons, minus like Christian McCaffrey. Obviously McCaffrey, the CMC trade is looking like it was the transaction of the season.
Yeah, it's
I don't think.
Oh,
to state the obvious, the fact that Purdy is being able to do what he's doing right now against the teams by the way, who are like pretty good. Like the Seahawks are pretty good.
Yeah.
Geno season bits aside, like they're good,
Yeah.
and the Niners just embarrassed them, and it was like, they turned on the switch at halftime, and then there was just all go from there.
I think the big thing with Purdy too is he doesn't make mistakes.
Yeah, he's poised. It's about that poise. He doesn't look nervous. He doesn't have happy feet. He knows when to scramble, knows when to throw it away. I mean, he's been studying his chops, man.
Yeah.
To grab at the low-hanging fruit, I do think that the fact that he's Mr. Irrelevant is irrelevant. Like, think about the amount of like star players that are entirely undrafted. Like fucking Eckler, for God's sake, was an undrafted player.
It's just
some of the best players in the league are undrafted.
It always gets kind of more light shine on because it's a quarterback, right? Because you're like, quarterback. Like if you get
shouldn't be missing on
and
a
it's
quarterback.
rare.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
the
pretty
hardest,
rare.
It is the most difficult position to play. So
Yeah.
It's,
I mean, like if we're looking at like QBs that get taken after like, the fourth round.
Got a little Mr. to tell you about there, buddy.
Well, there's Brady. There was like another. Who's it? It was like not Steve Young. Was it Aikman that was drafted late?
I just looked up late round quarterbacks. So obviously Tom Brady's there. Roger Staubach was late.
Okay, yeah.
Bart Starr, Joe Theismann.
No, Aikman was first overall.
Mark Rypien. Matt Hasselbeck's the more recent one. He was round 6. He had a pretty good career.
Mark Rypien.
Yeah, he had a great career.
Brad Johnson.
Yeah.
Brad Johnson, Rich Gannon.
Yeah, so I mean, like to put that into perspective, like that list, besides like the really old names like Roger Staubach and Bart Starr, like it's not a lot of guys.
They're not impressive.
Yeah. It's not super common for you to get a Tom Brady like guy. So I mean, Brock Purdy right now though, he's the latest pick that you can get, and he's out of that draft class. I mean, he's one of the best. I feel like.
Yeah, I think easily the Niners are the team to beat.
Oh yeah. In fact, the most recent like good quarterback out of like the 2000s is Mark Bulger, who was with the Rams.
Boy, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, like every name you read off is like, oh, boy, yeah, no, this is actually just becoming more impressive the more I look into it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
For real.
So, I mean, it's great.
Like, and those guys were probably earlier, too, than him.
Yeah,
like, way earlier.
Yeah, they were. Well, like, rounds like 5 and 6.
I mean, it's literally impossible to be later than him.
So. Right, yeah.
I mean, the thing, if you redraft, like, he goes first round. Like, 100%.
Yeah.
No, I don't doubt that.
The only other Mr. Irrelevant that I can think of off the top of my head that was really good and still good is Ryan Suckup, the kicker for the Bucs.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
I actually know a Mr. Irrelevant. Tim Toon was drafted in 2012, I believe, out of Weber State as a wide receiver. I graduated the same year as him from the same school.
Oh,
that's
wow,
hilarious.
Yeah,
that is pretty cool. So yeah, I mean, this game.
What's that?
Thanks for sharing that, Barry.
Yeah, no, I thought it was a fun, relevant
pretty
fact.
cool.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah,
I like you. That's what I said.
All right.
That's what I
but you
said.
said it in a way that.
Fuck you, Rob.
No, that's okay. That's the attitude that we thought you had. But
No,
that's a little more clear now.
It's more like the podcast now.
Well, that game happened. Geno season's over. It's pretty much what we all expected.
Always
except
You think
next
the
Geno season.
Before we move on, you think the Seahawks are going to re-sign him, or are they going to let him?
Oh, I
they'll
hope
re-sign
so.
him.
God, why?
They should re-sign him.
There's no reason not to. Yeah.
What are they gonna do? Like, let's get rid of him and go with
Yeah,
fucking Drew
where's their
Lock.
fucking option at this point, right?
Yeah, literally
exactly.
Trying to get
Love it.
Russell Wilson.
But then that's the
would be hilarious. Holy shit!
But that'd be the question, though, right? Because what do you think his? Because he might get a pretty good rate on the free agent market.
I don't know.
I mean, they
man,
got room, right? They got cap room, I think.
They do. Yeah.
Yeah, that free Asian market. Let me tell you.
I hope they sign him, man. They've got a good thing going.
They
I
should.
don't think they should fuck it up.
In fact, quarterback free agents 2023, we have Tom Brady, Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Jimmy G, Teddy Bridgewater, Daniel Jones, who's gonna get re-signed.
Most of these dudes' stock is going up.
Yeah. Lamar Jackson, it's a pretty good one.
That's a big one. I hope we have a section that we can talk about that. By the way, today.
He's going to the Jets.
So there's plenty of other ones. Geno Smith. We keep going, but either way, that's that game. Now, the game of the week.
Oh yeah.
Jaguars 31, Chargers 30. Chargers
with 4 picks on the game.
Yeah,
In the first half.
in the
There were
first half.
3 in the first quarter, right?
Yeah, it was bad, and they were down
Yeah,
27-0.
Real bad.
And then the Chargers chargered it up.
You could just see it coming. Like, I feel like the second the score was... You get to that point in the game where you're like, man, this game's over. But then for most teams, you go, oh, yeah, this game's over. But then it's the Charger, and you go, oh, the Chargers just lost, didn't they? They just lost.
They went up 27-0. It's clearly over in favor of the Jaguars.
Yeah, it's
Right.
just-
I believe it's called the turning of the tides.
It was like the Colts Vikings game. Like, you saw the Colts up, and I was like, they're probably gonna lose still. Like, you just get that vibe. They just can't
it's
put
just a
teams
Chargers
away.
thing to do. Also,
Absolutely.
important to note, Brandon Staley supposedly not getting fired somehow.
That is kind of crazy because
That is insane.
Yeah.
That was a get fired game, is what that was.
yeah.
I mean, a couple people did, but yeah, that's
Not
one
him.
key
But they fired
omission.
the OC, yeah.
Yeah.
I wish we had a get fired game.
This was just
This is embarrassing, man. I know, like, shit on the Chargers, haha, but Jesus,
They
this
ran
is awful.
what, 8 pass plays or 8 run
they
plays?
ran
running
8
plays.
run plays.
8 run plays.
When all you
That
had to
is-
do was let the clock just bleed and milk.
Yeah.
Bleed and milk. That's
Literally
all you had to do.
And I mean, you got Austin Eckler. It's not like you got a bad running back.
Undrafted Austin Eckler.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the Chargers they gave up the 3rd largest postseason comeback in the history of the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if you don't get fired from that, I don't know what, like, whose knees you're kissing, but, like, you know,
Herbert's got to be fucking pissed. I mean, I know he kind of contributed to the poor performance, but still,
Yeah.
like,
I think he
this
did
is
miss a touchdown that was like easy.
Yeah, he had
yeah,
his
but
mistakes
I mean,
too. but-
Herbert, it's been like that since, like, basically he's been in the league.
yeah.
Where the rest of the team are I'm not saying that Herbert's not been, like, the cause of a lot of their problems, but
Yeah.
at the same time,
I
like,
mean-
they've had some monumental collapses on defense.
He's definitely not the cause of most of their problems.
No, not
He's
at all.
had issues, but my God, like
Dude,
there's
it's Phillip Rivers all over.
Yeah, it's
It really is.
he is
Like,
the new age
Phillip
Phillip Rivers.
Rivers.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Minus,
doesn't-
like, the 25 kids.
doesn't make sense. Like, how does it? Is the universe just that funny? Like, because like these are different
fucked up,
players,
but it is
different
funny.
coaches.
Can I add to that? Because currently the Jets have got the best corner in football. What do you know? A coach that seems like is probably on the way out. And what do you know? A Green Bay Packers QB looks like he might be done with the team, and before he retires, maybe he wants on.
That's true. And we're ready to move on to our next Hall of Fame 1 Super Bowl winning quarterback.
Dude, I
it
mean,
feels like
history
we're in
is a loop.
2008 again.
Yeah,
It's 2008.
100%.
Literally a loop. Yeah.
Yeah, Herbert. And for anyone wondering, because I know at least one person out there was, Herbert becomes an unrestricted free agent in the 2025 season. So he's got one more season under his initial signing contract and stuff.
He's only 24, dude. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
That is crazy,
He
yeah.
was like only yesterday he was a rookie. Still,
Yeah.
Is that factoring in the 5th year? Is that what that's? Because he
It's
got
20 he signed 2020 through 2024, the seasons. And
Okay.
if he doesn't get a contract extension or re-sign, he becomes a UFA in 2025.
right.
Dude.
But still, they'll have the 5th year option, so the 2025 will probably be covered by that. Would be my guess.
I decided to go look up the 2008 NFL playoffs, see if there's any parity, right? Because we're, parodying that season from what we just talked about.
Yeah.
The Vikings lost as the 3 seed in the wild card round to the Eagles, who went on to play the Giants in the divisional round.
That is actually hilarious.
And all the other games are completely different, but that game is exactly the same.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is, I mean,
And Tom Brady was in the playoffs
Tom Brady
too
was
that
in the
year.
playoffs as well.
Probably.
Yeah.
Well,
He,
yes, 100%.
Yeah,
definitely
that was the year
yeah.
the Steelers were the Super Bowl champions.
Yeah. Wait, 40 or 43?
NFL 2008. That was Super Bowl 40.
Oh wait, no, actually, might have been literally the only year Brady didn't.
Oh
play.
wait, yeah, it's the year he didn't make it.
Oh, was he?
It was the injury year.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense then.
That's funny.
It's funny. So, we're looping back around.
Pretty
What's
funny.
so funny? We got a funny podcast here.
funny
Don't you laugh?
injury.
It's a giggle time.
On the other side,
Travis Etienne with 20 carries for 109. That dude's
that's
looking
pretty good.
pretty fucking nice still.
He seriously is. He's got to. I mean, what was his year? Hold on, I gotta look this up.
he had a good
He
year.
had over
It was the
1,000,
same
right?
year.
Yeah.
It was the same year that he was drafted with Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, he had
Yeah,
1,100 yards.
Wow, 1,100. Yeah, wow. That was a good year.
Trevor
How many
Lawrence
touchdowns?
just flipped it around, the complete opposite of the first half, and then honestly, great play calling from Doug Pederson. That 4th and 1, doing the old roundabout.
Oh, that was insane. Like, who calls that?
That
Well,
was
it was more
fans.
than just I read someone saying that it was all intentional, which I want to believe. How they were basically they lined up for like a quarterback sneak or whatever, and then Lawrence killed the play. He went kill, and then Pederson ran to the thing when he heard the kill and called a timeout. It was like, no, don't do that, timeout. You don't kill the play. And so then they lined up again, same thing with like a slightly different formation, but we're looking like quarterback sneak. And then they ran, I think, the other play, and it was like meant to fool them into thinking they were guaranteed going to sneak.
Big brain.
Which again, I don't know if that's true, but I want it to be, and I'm gonna.
That'd be way
pretend that it
cooler.
I'm gonna choose to
Yeah.
believe it is. Yeah.
Yeah,
It
no,
makes
that's
a
way
good-
cooler. So
It makes a good story, but
does make
Yeah.
a good story,
Which
but
means it's true.
it's got to be true then, 100%.
Yeah.
but
100%.
it is something to be said of Doug Peterson in 1 year from the Urban Meyer disaster that was last year to.
Well, does it say more of Peterson or Meyer?
I mean, I mean,
100%.
but I mean, it does. I think it's still like considering what happened with Philly and how he's the only coach to ever win them a Super Bowl, right? And what we saw with him, the success that he got out of both Carson Wentz and Nick Foles, right?
Yeah.
Philly.
It's nice having an offensive, especially a QB minded guy like Doug Peterson to run your team, especially for a team like this. It's the same kind of thing as Andy Reid, right? A former QB coach. So I don't know.
We're all rooting for all Jags fans today now.
Yeah.
All of us.
Oh,
all
big
five
time.
of us.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, I've been cheering for him all year long.
I mean, I said on the quick snap if it came down to, or the last podcast, I should say, if it came down to the Bucks versus Jags, I mean, I'd be totally fine with the Jaguars winning.
Yeah.
Well, they have to make it through the Chiefs to continue this run.
I think Doug Peterson's actually the best coach the Jaguars could have got, because it's like you go from this ass clown dude that's kicking the kicker and screaming at everyone to like Doug Peterson.
Right, he did that. He kicked it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
who just seems like a nice kind of goofy guy. Like he's just kind of fun. He's like, "Yo guys, here we go. I like ice cream," and then he just seems like he cares. He's like easy going.
The Jaguars are 6-8 against the Chiefs.
Okay,
Well,
I mean that's
They
not.
played earlier in the year.
Yeah,
and
they played,
didn't-
and it was
I
bad.
don't think it was that bad, was it? Let me look.
It was not
Okay,
cool.
10 point game.
Okay,
17-27.
right,
Not horrible.
Yeah.
And that
The
was
last
also
time that
in
the
Arrowhead.
Yeah.
The last time the Jaguars beat the Chiefs was on November 8th of 2009. They won by a field goal.
Okay.
Wow.
That was
It's interesting to know, after that Chiefs loss, they had a bye week, and then they proceeded to win 2, 4, 6 of their 7 last games. So
Yeah.
they're a better team than they were when they played the Chiefs. I feel like this could be a close game. And the
I think
Chiefs,
it'll be close.
I think, are overrated too. So
Yeah, I mean they're very fallible this year. I feel like
Everyone is.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, the
Oh, boy.
Bills-Dolphins. Well,
What?
Dolphins
Oh, yeah.
almost won if they weren't dumb.
They really almost won.
I will
didn't.
say that like let's be a little bit realistic here. I know that I've been kind of a Bills semi fan this whole season. This entire first half, all the points were like scored by the Bills. Even the Dolphins' 17 points were also scored by the Bills. Like it was it was a Bills self-destruct
was.
like it shouldn't have been a close game. And I think the Bills just need to stop being stupid and then Yeah, this
I
would have
mean,
been like a 40-3 game.
Yeah.
You can look at one stat to understand that this score is not representative of the game, and that's Skylar Thompson's 18 of 45 for 220 with 2 picks.
Yeah, I will say he actually had some good passes that were just drop, like straight
Yeah.
up drop. Like Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill both drop balls that were like right on the money.
Dude, that's like 38% though on the day. That's more than a few drops.
I mean, the Bills doubled the yards on almost every stats.
Yeah.
Including in like yards per play almost too. Like and almost first. Like they almost doubled everything. Yet it was a 3-point game. I mean, the Bills they played themselves on this one.
Yeah.
But they came out the good side of it somehow.
Yep. I mean, that's what good teams do. You end up pulling it out. And that's what they did. Well, the Dolphins, I guess, were just like, what's the clock at? 5 seconds? We'll say in the huddle. We should break the huddle, guys. There's only 3 seconds. Okay. Jeez.
I went off of this on the quick snap, and I'm going to say it again to a much lesser degree, but nothing annoys me more as an ex-football player who like never ever had any control over the play clock whatsoever, but we never got flagged for delay a game. If you ever got flagged, you were like flogged in the locker room afterwards. Like you don't ever lose a game or even a timeout for not being ready. You got to hike the ball. The Dolphins, and I did see an interview with I can't think of the head coach's name off the top of my head of the Dolphins. He said that there was a miscommunication. Apparently, they thought that one of those plays was a first down, or they were told it was a first down, and it wasn't. And then when they found out that it was not a first down, they had to panic call a timeout because they had to change the play, which obviously kind of makes sense. But then you still got flagged for delay a game later on, and then they left it. They let 2 timeouts get wasted that way. And they still got flagged for it. Like that is inexcusable, man. Even if there's miscommunication, like. That's what audibles are for. You know, I can understand if there was some. I don't know what the exact miscommunication was, but if the Dolphins were told that they had a first down and then they found out that it wasn't a first down, they should have had a play in their back pocket, be like, hey, kill this play, run another one or something like that. I mean, I understand to a certain degree if you have to call a timeout, but they did it again, and then they still got flagged for delay a game. So, you know, I went from really rooting for the Dolphins in this game to just being like, yeah, just get them out of there. Like I can't. It's so unwatchable for me. I hate when teams aren't ready and they get a delay game penalty multiple times.
I mean, this probably doesn't happen if they have Tua in. Yeah, because Skylar Thompson's probably not the greatest.
Tua, I honestly think that Tua's done.
I don't think he's done, but it's getting not good.
I mean, I think we should talk about this, but like, I feel like there's a chance that he might be forced into early retirement by like
I can see that
PR. Yeah.
It's not even PR. I think they were like, dude, if you go out there and get another concussion, like that's triple impact syndrome. There's no coming back from that.
But and I will say, like, in fairness, Skylar Thompson is a rookie 7th round draft pick QB, 3rd string QB. Purdy? Yeah, right. Like this is more like I think he did pretty well considering all of those circumstances, he really and he's 3rd string and playing in a playoff game. Like he's not supposed to be starting at any point right now. So but to you guys' point, the question now becomes a little bit next year for the Dolphins, like what is gonna happen with Tua, right? Like, what are they? What are they?
There were rumors that they were already considering moving on. Like they were like, just for the optics of it, they're like, we don't want an injury-prone quarterback, even if he's good.
Yeah.
For some reason, sorry, Paul, go ahead.
Well, yeah, they were just like, I kind of didn't like it because they were implying not like, oh, we don't want an injury-prone quarterback because he's not going to play enough. Right. But they were more framing it like, we don't want an injury-prone quarterback because it just looks bad for us, Right. And it's like, that's a weird. I don't like that. I don't like that framing. You should. But yeah.
Well, you're telling me the Miami Dolphins was such a stand-up quarterback, or franchise quarterback, you know what I mean, organization.
Yeah.
Would abandon a quarterback? Never.
For
some reason, I had visions. I don't know why, but I see Garoppolo going to Miami.
I can see that. Yeah.
I see Jimmy G in a Dolphins uniform. I
can
don't know
see
why.
that too. Yeah.
I don't know why.
It definitely feels like we're going to have a second straight season where many quarterbacks shuffle around.
Yeah.
This was a year where that happened, and now again we're gonna have it where it's just gonna be like all these teams have different quarterbacks. It feels like.
You know what's weird is I remember. Let me know if you guys feel this way, but I remember at the beginning of this season feeling like, wow, it's really tight on QBs. Every team has a QB that they are going to stick with, for the most part. Like there were only I only felt like there were like a handful of teams that were like, oh yeah, they're going to need to draft a QB in the next couple of years. But like now it's yeah, especially considering what's gone on over the course of the year. But the reason that I brought up PR earlier, by the way, too, is because like I don't know, injuries. I mean, we'll get to it later, but there was another bad injury at the end of the game yesterday, right? And this is a year where a lot of people, I think, people who aren't even NFL fans, are looking at the league in the NFL, and Tua has a very specific case where he got like 3 concussions. Well, they're saying 2, but it seems like he probably got 3 over the course of the season.
They're saying 2, and they didn't know about the third one.
Right.
So I think that's how they said it.
But the thing is with his concussions is they all happen in the same spot, which makes it extra the back of the head, right?
He's
like
hitting the back of his head.
And that's especially dangerous, like going forward if he gets hit back, like. If he gets hit in the back of the head.
Man, I even know, like, in fighting and stuff, they ban hitting the back of the head.
Yeah, it's extremely dangerous.
Not to mention, like, we've not really talked much about it, but he's been out, for like a month now? That's unfortunately, like, not normal for concussions. Concussions are usually, like, a 1 week or 2 max, and the quarterback's back out there.
Which is, by the way, bad and
no, that's
stupid.
why I said
it's
unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah,
but like he might have a serious head injury, and they're just keeping quiet about it, like straight up.
Yeah.
So I think the NFL might actually, like, the NFL and the owners might step in and like force a retirement or something.
I
don't think they would do that.
They're gonna recommend that he stops playing. I think the Tua still wants to play, but I mean, let's not dwell on this for too long. I personally think that Tua's done, and for some reason see Jimmy G in a Dolphins uniform. I don't know why.
I think he's gonna go out next year. I think if he gets another concussion, then he might be done. I would say.
Yeah.
It just depends on how next year goes, but they'll definitely get some insurance because they're not gonna, be like, well, we'll just keep him and it'll be good.
Thompson did well for being thrown into the deep end, like in a really tough spot.
Yeah.
So, and they were competitive to the Bills if they just had better clock management. So,
it was a 3-point game. No
one gave him a chance.
Yeah. Speaking of nobody giving him a chance.
Oh, he's on fire with the segues.
This is some good segues.
Ooh, York Giants.
As we all predicted,
the Vikings.
The Vikings were going to either lose in the wild card or win the Super Bowl, and we all know now what has happened.
Yep.
They're still in the playoffs, and they're gonna win the Super Bowl. Yay!
Yeah.
Why call a play even if you make the completion is not gonna get you a first down?
Great question.
That's
just
pretty dumb.
In God's name, what do you do?
Didn't make any goddamn sense at all.
I don't understand. And you know what? I don't think anyone here today is going to answer this question. And I don't think I haven't heard an answer. Why?
I don't think they have an answer.
Yeah. Why
that?
is it that so many OCs? I mean, like, and I mentioned this on the quick snap. Yes, Kirk Cousins is also at fault for throwing that pass. But also, why is it on the play at all?
Why? Why is that route being run?
Yeah, it just doesn't make any goddamn sense. Like,
why in the fuck is TJ Hawkinson in the flat on 4th and 8 with the game on the line?
It makes no goddamn sense. Like, I understand that it's part of a wider concept to clear out, like, the streak route for the other guy.
But you can't. That's not a part of a winning play in this situation, dude.
You know what it is? Is like so many teams we see this. Like when almost every team they have like a gotta have it play. It's not necessarily a trick play, but it's just a different play. Where when it's 4th and 5 or 4th and 10 down to 4th and 1, they'll have a play where it's like, okay, game's on the line. This has to work. And that did not feel like even room. That felt like an extremely normal
That
play.
felt like a check down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. I mean,
reminder, you have Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know why they didn't go to him.
Just throw him the ball, yeah.
Even if he's triple covered, yeah. Like just.
Yeah.
I mean, Kirk
And
Cousins
Adam
to blame
Thielen.
mostly for that. He's mostly at fault for making that throw. But his
Go
stat
ahead.
line: 31 for 39, 273, and 2
He
touchdowns.
did good.
He played
That's
well the whole
Kirk
game.
Cousins'
He
way.
played well.
This is what he does.
This is what he
But,
does.
The
This
defense,
is Kirk
how
Cousins.
this
Vintage Kirk
proves that
Cousins.
you cannot, unless you're the Chiefs and you have someone who can score 40 points a game, you cannot play this kind of football where your defense just fucking doesn't do anything the whole game.
Yeah, you
Kirk
came to that
Cousins-
because the Vikings defense is the problem here, man. Like they
Of
fucking
course, yeah.
shat the bed this game.
Kirk Cousins is literally just like a better Derek Carr.
yeah. I mean,
He's
I think
better than
he's
Derek Carr
better
for sure.
Yeah, I would
I don't think there's a
Kirk
question.
That's what I'm saying. He's better than Derek Carr, but he's just a better Derek Carr.
I think Kirk Cousins is a fringe top 10 QB, and I think that the
Vikings defense played so fucking bad this game, man.
Yeah.
Like
that's
Daniel Jones 17 for 78 on the ground. Like I know he's doing well this year, but Jesus Christ, like he was running all over them. Saquon had a pretty good game. Like they could not stop every time the Giants were on offense, it felt inevitable that they were going to score.
Yeah.
This
And to your point, the defense, like Kirk Cousins didn't give up 400 yards on defense and 31 points, right? Like that's
Jones was
To
feasting.
the Giants. I look, we like the Giants. They're an underdog team, but if you give up 31 to the Giants, your defense fucking sucks.
You suck.
All right. First
Like-
off, my Derek Carr comparison, just real quick here. Derek Carr had 3,500 yards, 24 touchdowns, and 14 interceptions. Kirk
Okay.
Cousins had 4,500 yards, 29 touchdowns, so 5 more, and 14 interceptions.
Yeah, but that's 1,000 more yards.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's what I'm saying. He's a better Derek Carr.
All right, no, you're
well,
right.
yeah.
Okay,
you
know,
everyone's
so is
a better
Pat
Derek
Mahomes,
Carr.
yeah.
Everyone's a better Derek Carr, man.
They're like close in comparison.
I
more
guess.
than
I get what you're trying to
fine.
say. I just don't think you said it in a way that was.
Okay.
This is the insight that you tune in for.
That's
the
latest
insight.
from the stat ship.
Yeah,
stat
yeah.
drop, what is it?
Look, breaking down, like going back to the final play, okay? Like it's the most obvious thing to say, like why even catch a ball or run a play that's not going to get you the first down, even if you complete the pass. But if you look at that final play, the idea, like Justin Jefferson was blanketed, like he was just not an option in this play, and Kirk Cousins was about to get blasted, okay?
Yeah.
But he went through the check down and he looked. Dalvin Cook was open in the flat, or you had Hawkinson go out and try to make a play and break a tackle one-on-one and try to get the first down. Like I understand that, but in those two situations, you got to go to the running back.
Yeah.
He's going to be faster. He's going to be faster. He's going to be more
More
likely
elusive.
to break the tackle.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think altogether, it's just why we
Yes,
have
it's a bad.
that they
It's a
didn't
bad
have-
design. It's a really badly designed play, regardless, because they needed 8 yards, and they were even if they completed, they still have to run the ball 5 yards up the field if Justin Jefferson is not an option, which he was not, and Cousins had to get rid of the ball. Like I totally understand that, but the point is, run a better play.
Yeah.
Run a better
They
play. Even a
didn't
go
have-
route is a better play.
They didn't have any timeouts at that point. That alone is a giant issue because they fucked up even before they got to that point.
True. Yeah. There was some bad clock
They
management.
had
wasn't
4
there?
seconds left to run the play at the time. There was still a minute 51 left in the game at that point.
Yeah.
They should have taken a delay of game if they didn't feel prepared.
Well, that puts them back to 4-13. Which I mean, if the play that they were going to run was going to be that bad, then take the delay of game, I guess. But
They couldn't have known that, I guess, in the moment.
But it's just a bad all around call, and the Giants played it pretty well.
God, it's just such a shitty way for that season to end, though, as magical as it was, man.
It wasn't magical. They barely won all the games.
That's magical.
It's not, I'm telling you right now. Okay.
Comebacks.
They were undefeated in one possession game. You're telling me that's not magic?
Well, they just
glad
lost
they're
their
out
most
just so we don't
important
have to go through this
one-possession game.
conversation every week again.
All right, they
Well,
lost
this is the
most
last time because they are
important
in fact eliminated.
All right, this is
Get one more, goddammit.
This was the exact thing I said. I said this team is literally the Packers teams from the last 2 years, and they proved it. They were the Packers teams from the last 2 years. Of Devontae Adams was Justin Jefferson. All right, the defense blows ass, and then they go up against some team in the playoffs, and then you're like, oh boy, here we go, and then you just get shit on in some random way, bad play calls.
Kirk Cousins is literally just Derek Carr. We get it. All right, fine.
In fact, I have brought up player comparison Derek Carr versus Kirk Cousins career.
You're not going to let this go, are you?
All right, on a per
we
game,
have to move on.
on a
hold on.
per game basis from 2014 to 2022, they have a completion percentage of Derek Carr 22.5, Kirk Cousins 22.9, attempts 34.9 to 34.3, yards 248 for Carr, 261 for Cousins.
They literally already conceded the point. Like, what is the aim anymore?
To 1.8 times. My point is they have 0.7 interceptions, both on a per game basis. They both get sacked 2 times per game. They're literally the exact play that's playing.
Who are you yelling at?
Well, before we move on to another game, I do want to. We should talk about the Giants because, look, you could say that the Vikings gave up this game, but I mean, the Giants played really well.
They did,
I mean,
yeah.
Daniel Jones
played out of his fucking mind. Yeah, no, I shouldn't take too much away from him.
Danny Dimes dropped a dime on them.
Yeah.
yeah.
How long did you have that on cue? How many opportunities?
He got me with that on the last quick snap. He got me good. And also Brian Dable, fucking again, 1 year.
He should be coach of the year.
He's
coach of the year. Yeah. He's got.
I mean, even the Detroit guy, Dan Campbell, said it. I think on the main cast, he was like, I appreciate you guys, like coach of the year, but like it's Brian Dable, not me.
Yeah. I mean, and I don't know if you guys saw it, but they ran a fucking Statue of Liberty play in this game, and it was awesome. I haven't seen one of those in the NFL, and I don't know, like, ever, really. Yeah. They don't run those here.
This team has a chance, like, because they're going up against the Eagles now, and the Eagles have kind of fell off, and they have that kind of feel to them where it's like, okay, they had the bye week, but, like, how many teams have we seen sluggishly come off the bye week and kind of fuck it up against a worse team?
It's looking spicy, man.
Yeah. I really do think the Giants might go all the way. They've got that same.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
I know, I really do. I'm
like, starting to.
Be a year.
I've been a Niners hater for the whole season, but even I'm at this point like, okay, who's gonna beat this team?
Yeah, they're just like the most well-oiled machine at this point.
Yeah,
but the Giants beat the Eagles. I will say, I'll consider it, but they still have to beat the Eagles, which the Eagles are the best team in the NFC this year. So I mean, we'll see.
But they also have a goober QB again. That has worked wonders for them.
Energy. I will give you that.
I will say one of my favorite memes I've seen, as we've enjoyed this on NFC North Meme War, was someone said, I feel bad for bullying the Viking bros yesterday, so here's the Minneapolis Miracle to cheer you up. And it's literally the Miracle, and as he's about to catch it, it cuts to the 4th and 8, and he gets the 3 yards, and he'll get the Giants game. That was a good meme.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So, overall, Giants, man.
Giants. Go Jags, go Giants.
Yeah.
Wild card team. Well, the Jags are not really a wild card team, but they feel like a wild card.
Basically are a wild card.
They're a wild card.
Speaking of wild card teams, the Baltimore Ravens made this much closer than it should have been again.
I guess it's just AFC North football. This just kind of happens automatically.
Just the AFC. I mean, the Dolphins Bills won too. I was like, what?
Yeah, but that one was way more self-inflicted. The Bengals
That's
didn't
true.
like. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The Ravens. I'm happy they're finally on the other end of the luck train, because Tyler Huntley reaching over to the goal line and getting the ball knocked out and basically losing the game on that play. I was like, finally, you've been doing bullshit like this all season to a 10-8 record that you don't deserve, and it ends here in a stupid fashion.
And it wasn't even close. Like, he wasn't even close to getting the ball over the goal line when he tried it. Like,
Yeah.
it was pure desperation.
It was like a
and they
yard
got
short.
It wasn't even close.
It
And
was
I see that the Ravens went to the Todd Bowles School University of saving timeouts when you don't have to, and you should use them. And then they called a timeout when the clock was stopped.
How long have we done this fucking podcast? And every week we have at least 2 or 3 games where coaches have no idea how to manage the time. How is this such a problem in a multi-billion-dollar organization? How do so many rich-ass coaches who are supposed to be good at this suck so fucking bad at managing the clock? How?
And you know what's weird is what is the solution? Because again, for years, I have said, get a timeout guy. Jets had a timeout guy. They did the same fucking problem. They had the same problem this year. So like, what do you even do? How do they?
They just don't pay attention to the clock, or I try to play devil's advocate and think like, okay, maybe there's a miscommunication with the play clock that they see like in the stadium and what they're told in their headset. I don't know.
I think it's overthinking. I think they overthink it so often.
I think they're just not paying attention.
No, let me propose a possibility. What if ego is becoming a problem? Where it's like, what if people notice it that are like maybe lower on the totem pole, but they don't want to say anything because they don't want to overstep, and they're assuming that the people above them know what they're doing, and so they're just letting them make the call without realizing that the people above them don't actually realize what's going on.
I mean, it could be, but I legit think that we're in a new position now where the kind of the analytics of the game are changing slightly. And I think it is just a bout of overthinking where like coaches will be like, okay, I should call my timeout here. But then they like, okay, well, what if I might like, what if I, and then that like split second of what if, like, and suddenly they're like, okay, I guess I'm not calling a timeout because they've already wasted.
There could be some legitimacy to that because there's been so much more like unorthodox play calling lately and like going for it on 4th and 1.
Dan Campbell did the thing where they had a first down, but he decided not to take the penalty. That was genius. I love that. I was like, that should happen more often. That's so smart.
It can't. That can't be blanketed across for every coach because Todd Bowles had 3 timeouts and said that there wasn't enough time to win the game.
That was one of the worst of the season. I'll give you that. It
goes down to the head coach. The head coach is usually it's either that or the quarterback.
And that's what I'm saying. That might be an ego thing, man. People just may not want to go up to the coach and be like, "Don't you think you should call a timeout?"
You're not going to have an offensive lineman turn around and say, "Call timeout." Like that's not going to happen. It comes down to the coach.
If you have a like good quarterback can help because like
an aware quarterback.
Well,
somebody
Tom Brady is a good quarterback. He didn't really call the timeouts either. So
but I feel like this last couple of years, Tom Brady probably was doing it and probably had less control this year because of Todd Bowles.
Yeah,
it does feel like Tom has to listen to Todd Bowles, which I just like. I don't know about that one, man.
Tom. Everyone seems to think that Todd Bowles is still a good coach. We'll get to that.
I don't know.
I think that
here's my question. And now I'm not a mathologist. And none of you,
mathologist. Yeah.
None of you are either, right?
Correct.
I was. But
for
here's my question, and see if you can if you can find out, what's wrong with this. What would be wrong what would be wrong with teams having a chart that has 2 axes, right? One axis is down and distance, the other axis is time remaining.
I think there's too many other factors because you also have what kind of score do you need, a field goal or a touchdown? Like how many points would you be ahead? And because you're thinking about 2 things when you're trying to score to win the game. Is this the last possession? Like, are we scoring on the zeros? How much time will be left for the other team? Should we give them enough time? Is 30 seconds too much? Is it 20? Like, I think it's just too complicated. I think that they should be able to solve it because they're the coach and it's their fucking job. But I don't think it comes down to that.
I don't know. I don't really know that matters that much because and here's why I say this: the Jets, the reason that they ended the game with 2 fucking timeouts is they were like, oh, we can't let the other team get the ball back, so we got to make sure that we run this fucking clock out. They forgot that they need to score the fucking ball first.
That's an overthink. That is the overthinking.
That's what happened in this game.
That's literally what happened in this game because the Ravens.
And that's why I'm saying if you have this fucking chart, I think
you can't just go to a chart every time.
I don't know. I mean, would that not solve this problem?
I think
in
the
this
chart
game?
would have to say
solve
like
the problem
is
in the
Josh
Jets game?
Allen
Like,
or you know
exactly.
Patrick
If you are Andy Reid with Pat Mahomes or you're Sean McDermott with Josh Allen, then sure, maybe there are other considerations. But I honestly think a chart with down and distance and time left was good enough for teams that don't have god tier.
No,
QBs.
yeah. If you're just a shit offense team, yeah, you don't care how much time is left. You just need to score. You've struggled to score all game. You're not going to magically look. I know fourth quarter magic is a thing, but you have to score, especially if you're.
Yeah.
You got to look at last year's divisional round with the Bucks and the Rams. They scored too quickly, and they gave the Rams enough time to come back and score on them.
Well, they also let Cooper Kupp free.
Well, yeah, but
that's
the thing, though. Like that's the reason why. Like I don't think there's a chart that could be necessarily an end all be all, because it's like, well, there you have to also take into account factors like your DB just falls asleep on the play, or like is there even a remote possibility that the other team can score? I mean, but the bottom line is you still have to score on that possession no matter what, which is what happened in this game.
Like if the Ravens were even going kind of lackadaisically down the way, clock's running, and I was like the only thing I can put here is that they don't want the Bengals to get the ball back. Like that was the only thing I could think of.
The thing that I argued on the quick snap as well is that the Ravens didn't have to score on those 4 downs. They could have still gotten a first down and then had 4 more tries to get in the end zone.
Yeah.
They had all the reason to call timeouts there instead of bleeding the clock, right?
Yeah.
They're like, I think that in their mind, and to Rob's point, in their mind, they probably, we've already scored this. Like the score is a lock, guaranteed. We're just going to go in, and then we're trying to work the clock and manage it so the Bengals don't have enough time to do a Tom Brady-esque comeback. But you still got to score, and they didn't have to do it on those 4 downs. That's the biggest problem that I have with this, is that it wasn't a 4th and goal. It was a 4th and 20, right?
Yeah.
That they could have converted. They didn't have to do it on that down. They could have done it the 3 previous downs and still had enough time to score if they had used a touchdown to draw the play, or if they used a timeout to draw up the play that they needed just to convert the first down. They did not have to score on that.
The
that's
crazy
the most annoying
part
thing about it
is that they almost pulled off the Hail Mary.
Yes, they almost did.
It was close. Yeah.
It was real. It was like on his fingertips. Like he could have had that, but I'm honestly happy they didn't, because I don't want to watch the Ravens another week.
Yeah, screw the Ravens.
Yeah.
We're finally at the point where we will now have what should be good games of football.
Yes, that is nice.
Okay, now can we mention Lamar? What do you guys think is going to happen?
I have no idea. I think it's because I am in my mind. I'm like, I don't think they're gonna sign him just because of this whole injury thing that happened. I feel like they're gonna do that thing where they're like, oh, he's injury prone. This is like the 2nd or 3rd time now.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's gonna want the Cleveland Brown quarterback money. I don't want to say his name.
Oh yeah.
He's just. That's what my brain says, but I feel like I'm just wrong so often.
But who are the Ravens' options though if they don't re-sign Lamar?
Huntley.
That's
I don't know if Huntley's gonna get you to this
not
point.
the guy for me.
I feel like we're forgetting how good Lamar Jackson is. Like,
I think so too.
It's not about who do we get besides Lamar. It's do they want to pay Lamar or not. The rest after that is inconsequential. They'll take a shit season if they decide they don't want to pay that much money. It's just a game of money.
Like he's not. Is he not a top 3 quarterback right now in y'all's
former
opinion?
MVP?
I don't think he's top 3 right now, but I'd say he's top 10 easily.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, look, I'm glad you brought that up, Bear, because the Jets subreddit has obviously been talking about it. Because remember a couple weeks ago I was like, the Ravens, they got to sign Lamar, but they might not, and everybody was like, yeah, but I mean, they got it. And now here we are at the end of the season. Now it's like, shit, they might not. They really might not. And so the Jets subreddit is talking, of course, about like, well, Lamar Jackson might be the QB. And you know what blows my mind is there is a huge contingent of people who are like, nah, we should get Derek Carr instead. Lamar is injury prone. What are you fucking out of your mind? This is an MVP QB.
Like, for real, dude. In my brain right now, like, I know he had his ups and downs and he's been injured, but like, it goes fucking Mahomes, Allen, Jackson. Like,
yeah.
It maybe hurts, but I don't think so.
I agree with everything you guys are saying. It's just we are not the owners, and the owners only care about money.
Well,
You're
the
right.
problem
That's just
also
all
is
they care
that
about.
he's got a knee injury, so like his main thing is he runs. So is he going to run the same? Because there's plenty of players where you see him come back from injuries like that, and they're not as fast, and then they start going.
I mean,
downhill.
we've for many years we've talked about like if you want to beat Lamar, make him throw the ball. Like that's
He's been doing that this year, though.
He's gotten better this
He's
year.
been one of the
he's gotten
better.
better at it. But
And he's better every year. I don't know.
You take out his mobility in that part of the running game for him, and he becomes a very
He becomes
like
a
very
bottom half
manageable
quarterback. I think.
Yeah.
I still think a
I
team like
don't-
the Jets is more than happy to have him.
Oh,
And I
100%.
also don't think he's a bottom half quarterback with that.
No, he's not a
And I
bottom
wanna
half quarterback.
I think he is. I think without the run game, I mean, he's just a regular quarterback, an average, slightly below average quarterback.
I'd say he's
Hold
in
on,
the middle
hold
of
on,
the
hold
pack.
on. I wanna defend this here because the I don't think this is true. Because if you look at his stats year over year for the past several years with the Ravens, right? They are, top 10 QB passing numbers here,
Yeah.
right? And if you then look at the Ravens receiving core
they're
and
trash.
offensive line, and it for the past several years, they are garbage, just terrible. I mean, and you look at their draft picks and the free agent signings; it's all on defense.
I don't know if I can
I think-
name a Ravens wide receiver.
How much?
Yeah,
but
that's
here's how much of that is the defensive the defense is having to play a very aggressive run defense. Like you have to put a spy on Lamar.
That is true,
You have to play heavy run defense against the Ravens, or you will lose.
That
So-
is true, but
He's still a top 10 quarterback for sure. It's just natural talent alone.
Oh yeah, with
gets him
what he
that
had,
far.
I'm just saying. I really think you take that run game away, and he's.
Yeah,
I think you're over exaggerating
significantly worse.
decline, but I agree that it is significant. I think he's
yeah.
still a very, very good quarterback, even if his mobility is reduced.
Yes. What I'll say, and then we really got to move on, is that this draft class is very stacked, very QB heavy.
Yeah,
I'm
I've heard
talking
that.
a lot. There's like 10 quarterbacks coming up in the next draft that are all
Someone's
potential
gonna hit.
Rates.
Yeah.
Yeah. So owners are going to be looking for, and the Bucs included, are going to be looking for drafting a solid rookie quarterback.
Maybe the
This next draft
Packers
is
picking
stacked.
up a 5th rounder or something like that.
yeah.
But either way, I'm happy the Bengals won. I think they didn't play their best, but I think their Bengals against Bills is gonna be a good game.
Yeah.
And then finally we had the Buccaneers ruin my perfect pick'ems week, and I don't know why I took them after watching them all year. But I thought
You guys
Tom Brady
fooled
dark
yourselves.
magic. I did.
I mean,
There
I thought it
was
could
dark.
happen.
So here's the thing: the Cowboys showed how to beat Tom Brady dark magic. You know what it is? Hey, when you're up like 20 points in the fourth quarter, just go score again. Just get one more. Just score one more time, and then you did it. You won the game.
They
That's
also
all
ran the
any of
ball.
these fucking teams had to ever do ever.
That is how the Jaguars lost to Tom Brady many years ago in the
Yep.
Super Bowl. Or
Just
not in the playoffs, and I
one
was so
time.
mad. Yeah, no, because I saw it for fucking years when he was on the Patriots. Teams would do what they do because it would win them every other game, but not
Yeah.
Tom Brady. Yeah, so yeah, you're right.
Also,
one time.
Ezekiel Elliott not looking great, but Tony Pollard.
This
I
Pollard
said
time.
this like 4 or 5 weeks ago, man. Tony Pollard is a real deal.
Yeah,
He's really good.
I mean, he's
Yeah,
been good for
he
a
just
while.
straight up
He's
looks
kind
better
of,
at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just been in like the shadow of Ezekiel Elliott. Now he's kind of rising up. I mean, I had Tony Pollard on fantasy like a year ago, and he was fantastic. Like
They gave up 5 touchdowns to Dak Prescott. One of them was the Peyton Manning-esque run-in with no one around you type score.
Yeah.
that was a really good fake, though. It kind of almost fooled me.
I will say, and this is loser talk, but I will still say it anyway. They did not penalize the Cowboys at all. There were so many blatant holding calls. I'm not the only person who saw these. All right, people watching the game saw these crazy, totally blatant offensive holding calls that were not flagging at all. And then they called one on the Bucs, which took away a touchdown from the Buccaneers, by the way. And then Tom, of course, having his thanks Joe Buck for cursing Tom and saying like, "Oh well, Brady's never thrown an interception in the red zone ever." Yeah, thanks Joe. Literally the play after they said that he throws the
Always
interception. when he's trying to just throw it out of bounds. It was a dumb play by Tom.
I swear they set those up sometimes. It feels so surreal of like, oh, they just showed this well-prepared graphic about how it's been 14 years since this happened, so I guess this is about to happen.
Never
They actually
an
watch
extra
on a
point ever.
I will say that this loss, though, really comes down to that interception in the end zone. If the Buccaneers had scored there, it was going to be a tie game.
Yeah.
They marched right down the field. They went, I think, like 82 yards or something like that. It was a great drive that Brady just tried to throw away a ball that he's done hundreds of times in the past, and for some odd reason just threw it right to the Dallas Cowboys, and that killed everything.
Throw, dude.
It was dumb. Tom played like absolute garbage. He threw 66 times, but that's not all on him. I will say it's not all on him because the Buccaneers have absolutely zero running game. Fournette's got to go. Rashad White's got to go. We need a.
Wyatt, really?
No, he did terrible. He
was okay.
Terrible.
He only got 7 carries.
Well, it's because but by that point Brady had
garbage time.
He had to pass the entire game because of the running game just being totally inept and just missing. I mean, this is what happens when you shut down the running game so bad you have to rely on the quarterback, that even someone as good as Tom Brady cannot take you and score down the field against a defense that honestly is pretty decent, but they're not the greatest. The Cowboys defense is not the greatest, and they are going to get absolutely rolled by the Niners next week, or this week, I should say. Tomorrow, actually, in fact, because Coach won't post this until Saturday.
Yeah. So, I kind of had a feeling this would happen, but, Tom Brady, dark magic has run out. And, I mean, really, his dark magic, I think, went into the kicker. I think that's what happened. He tried to make it the whole team, and it just went to the kicker.
That was wild. That was a record.
Doing it after the first one, he was just doing it on purpose.
I don't think so. I think it
how do you miss 4 times
I think
in a
it
row?
mentally got to him. It did that where he starts overthinking. Like, all right, I got to kick that, and you really start overthinking. And then 4 in a row.
The fourth one went off the top of the upright. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
It was like a top doink.
That's gotta stink so bad. He might actually lose his job over that, I feel like. But
I mean,
they were saying it. He's been amazing all year.
Yeah, he's been money all year. Yeah.
I'm saying he was doing it on purpose. He's just screwing with them.
I think he's
just
going
to get a laser in his eyes.
I mean, this happened to Mason Crosby years ago at the Packers. Like, he went on a streak where he just couldn't make anything, and it was all mental. And then he fixed it, and then he was fine. Like, I think it's just it's like anything, like basketball. If you're shooting and you're just cold, you keep overthinking. Like, how am I shooting? Am I shooting right? But when you're like locked in, you're just shooting. Like, you're not thinking about it. Yeah. So
Tom, as far as Tom goes, I think he is done with Tampa. But I will say that if he does decide to come back, the Bucs still have the inside track at getting him back. But I will not root for them until Todd Bowles is gone.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm making my prediction. All right, I don't lie.
Okay.
I think he's going to the Raiders.
I don't think he's going to the Raiders.
I also
Brady to the Dolphins.
I don't think he's going to the Dolphins either.
To the Jets.
No, well, I don't think he's going there. Here's the thing: Tom Brady wants to go to a place that has an easy path for the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
Like he doesn't want to go through Pat Mahomes or Josh Allen to get to the playoffs. You know,
I don't think he minds it. I think he would.
I
think
don't
he's
know.
a competitive person. That'd probably be like, yeah, you like getting beat by old man Brady, Pat Mahomes. Like, I think he's that type of person.
But you also have to factor in the strength of the division as well. The Bucs still play in one of the worst divisions in the NFC.
That's what I'm saying.
In the entire football world, which is the reason. That's just another contributing factor. If he comes back, the Buccaneers will have the inside track, and they will do everything and make every accommodation. He's already moved his family down to Tampa. He's there. That'll be his 3rd year. And
what
or 4th
family?
year, and I think that he's more likely to re-sign with the Bucs if he doesn't retire than anywhere else. I know that everyone's making a big thing about him going to the Raiders. I don't think it's going to happen. I could see him going to a couple other teams before that, but I honestly I'm fine with him coming back. But at the same point, I kind of don't want him back. We have to move on eventually from Tom. As much as I hate to say that, and Kyle Trask is not the answer, and Blaine Gabbert is not the answer. Yeah. We've got to draft a very, very good quarterback this year, and I'm looking forward to it.
The only reason I think Raiders is because they'd feel like if they had Tom Brady this year, they probably would have been a playoff team, like a minimum wild card. I mean, Devontae Adams with Tom Brady, like, okay. And then
you say that, but you look, if you look at the Bucks though, it's like the Bucks with like Tom Brady with Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Julio Jones. That sounds like an unbeatable combo, and they were inept. And that was
I mean, I think Devontae Adams is still a step above. Everyone.
I would take Devontae over everyone except maybe Mike.
Even Mike Evans felt like he lost a step this year. Like he just wasn't.
Well, he got his record and then just didn't even care. But he and Brady have been off this entire year. Yeah. I mean, there were very little go routes to it. The only time that we ever saw it was like a couple weeks ago. I don't remember who they were playing, but like just let them run go routes. Just send them. That's what Tom is good at. They just weren't doing it at all until the 2-minute warning, and they had to do like the hurry up offense. So, but bottom line, I don't see Tom coming back. If he does come back, it'd probably be with the Bucks. I wish that Todd Bowles was gone. I'm happy that we got rid of Leftwich, but man, the problem is at the very top there, and it's going to continue.
I think that if Tom Brady moves teams, he would stay in that division because it's just the weakest division right now, right?
I mean, he could also go to Miami to want to play against Belichick again. Like, you never know. But I don't think that would happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, again, it's the Josh Allen thing. Like, I don't think I honestly don't think he, at 46 years old, would want to, like, possibly miss the playoffs. Like, I think he wants a Super Bowl shot every year, you know?
Which, I mean, if you look at the results from him in Tampa, we've won back-to-back divisional titles and a Super Bowl in 3 years.
Yeah, but once the Carolina Panthers sign Lamar Jackson, I mean, that division's over.
It's a good point. It's a good point.
But those were the wild card games. Pretty fun. And do we have power rankings?
We've got power rankings, Coach, and there's only going to be 14 teams. Here we go, Rob. This one is for you. The top 5, not top 10, because there's only 14. Top 5 in the NFL power rankings on NFL.com. Bible of the Internet. Thank you to Dan Hansis, as always, for contributing to the show. Starting with Robert Alpaca Patrol, the artist formerly known as Jim Mora, drawer.
He's right.
Central. Yep.
All right, Sinvicta, let me see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. No, what?
Bears.
Come on.
How about them Minnesota Vikings? Pushing for the Super Bowl this year.
Come on.
Coach Crendor.
Is it the Green Bay Packers?
That'd be up there.
Jeez.
It really
Apollo.
The Detroit Pistons.
All right, top 5. You all failed 5 strikes in a row. It's going to be San Francisco 49ers, Rob.
Okay.
Are staying in the top spot along with the
Makes
Chiefs,
some sense.
who rose 2 spots to go from 4th to 2nd. The Bills, who dropped from 2 to 3rd somehow. The Bungles, who dropped from 3rd to 4th. And finally, the Philadelphia Eagles, Rob. The Eagles have stayed in the top 5 in the NFL power rankings. Now, here we go. This is going to be a good one.
Yeah.
The thinnest dink, I should say. Not the thinnest doink.
You should say that.
It could be a thinnest doink because it's
be
a playoff,
thin doink,
sure.
yeah.
You can do whatever you want to do.
I mean, you make the rules.
Yeah.
It's a thin doink. This team has risen 4 spots now, claiming their rightful spot in the 7th position. Robert, it's your team, your favorite team. Name this football team.
My favorite team. Well, we've got. I mean, can't be the Patriots.
Is that your final answer?
I guess not. The Cowboys.
It's the New York Giants, Rob.
Oh,
the Giants putting up the thinnest dink now, rising 4 spots from the 11th spot to the 7th spot with their big win over, no one guessed it, the Minnesota Fighting Vikings here. Leapfrogging the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Chargers, the Vikings, the Ravens, and whoever else. Now, true or false? This one goes over to Apollo. True or false? The Baltimore Ravens.
You love that question.
Are ranked above the Minnesota Vikings.
False.
That is correct. Follow-up question. Bear Taffy, true or false? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are ranked above the Baltimore Ravens.
False.
Also correct. Good job, everybody. The Buccaneers landed in the 15th spot with the Ravens going up 3. Bucks also going up 3 somehow, Dan. From the 15th spot to the 12th spot, the Ravens went up from 14th to the 11th. And then finally, Coach Krendor, this one's for you. Woo. Coach, true or false? The Miami Dolphins, your favorite team, Coach.
Yep, my favorite.
Were ranked above Geno season.
False.
That is correct. The Vikings, sure. The Miami Vikings. We all got Vikings on the mind.
Minnesota
Detroit Pistons.
The Detroit Piston Vikings Fighting Irish have now made it below the 9-9 Seattle Seahawks somehow, even though they have the same record. I think that everyone would agree that that's probably the right case. However, I would definitely put the Seahawks over the Buccaneers and possibly even over the Ravens. But hey, I'm not Dan Hanzus. That is the power rankings for the wild card weekend going on into the divisional round. Back up to Coach Krendor for the bonus stats, pats, and pick'ems.
This guy can't say words.
He can't do it. That's what we pay him for.
That's what
I don't
we
get
pay
paid at all, actually.
Yeah, we don't pay anyone.
Yeah.
I mean, hey.
Well,
that's true.
subscribe to the Patreon. So Rob just admitted that he's stolen all the Patreon money.
That's true. Yeah, I haven't. I've kept the password and the email locked away for myself. And
You son of a bitch.
I've sent all the money to the Cayman Islands. You'll never see a dime, you suckers.
You can contribute to Rob's private Cayman Island fund by heading to patreon.com/3guysandbear. Shout out to patron Danny Boy 104, who was our assistant coach last week, who went 5-1 on his picks, including his San
6-1,
Francisco
actually,
lock.
6-1.
Yeah, or sorry, 6-1 on his picks.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And we got our new assistant coach this week, Alpha Something, who we're going to be reading the picks off, and you can become an assistant coach too. We've got 2 shows left for that, I suppose, for the assistant coaches this year, but we'll be doing it next year as well, so feel free to head over to the Patreon, pledge at the $5 tier or above, become an assistant coach, get the role in the Discord, opt into the drawing, and you can become an assistant coach on the show, and we'll talk about your stuff and read your name and make you feel cool.
And you get pictures of Bears' feet. It's
That's
a lot of perks.
also a perk. Yeah, that's a hidden perk.
So we had some stats. Meese and Victa and Danny Boy all went 6-1. Then we had Apollo go 5-2 with Discord, and Rob and Bear go 4-3 with Randy at 3-4.
Yeah, suck it, Randy.
I can't believe I didn't pick the Cowboys. I'm so upset at myself.
Yeah, man, that one's on you.
It is.
Yep.
Apollo stays perfect predicting wild card games between the divisional opponents, 5-0. Followed by me at 6-2, Discord 5-2, Rob 5-3, and Sinvicta and Bear 4-4, Randy 1-4.
Oh,
Come on, Randy. It's got to balance out.
yeah.
I'll have what he's having. Rob and Bear agreed on every pick this week and have agreed on 67% of all their playoff picks ever.
Yeah, high five.
They're 22-14 all time when in agreement. When disagreeing, Bear leads Rob 8-4.
Yeah, get fucked, idiot.
You son of a bitch.
Leveraging the curse, Invicta is the only one to successfully lock against Tom Brady-led team in the playoffs twice.
That's great.
Yep.
There have been 5 games with a lock against him, all in the past 3 years. Invicta was involved in all 5. Some were double locks.
I
Yep.
remember we double locked games at one point.
Yeah.
I just want to say I like the alpaca with the top hat. I think
That
that's
is pretty
lovely.
good, yes. Less is more. Krender is now 12-4, predicting 1-score wild card games after going 4-0 this week. Dude, I'm like the Vikings. Apollo was top dog during the regular season in 1-score games.
He's a dog.
With 98, 57, and 2, 63% win rate.
Yeah.
And finally, something secret. There are only 4 teams that have never been locked against in the playoffs. Only 2 are in the playoffs this year, but all are in this image. Each has been locked in at least one playoff game.
I found 2.
Yeah, I found 2.
The third one, Discord got it, and it blew my fucking mind. I still don't know what the fourth one is. I think I have a guess.
I don't see one. What are you talking about?
Two of them are
Yeah,
look
two of
around.
them are pretty
There's a
Hold
pretty
on,
easy
I
one. All right, there's the easy one
I'm
that
opening
you'll
this
find
up
in a
on its own
second. Yeah.
page. Yeah.
Yeah, there's Two are pretty easy. I legit looked at this image for so long, and I still can only
The third
find
one,
two.
it will blow your mind. I'll tell you once, because none of you are going to get it. I didn't get it. The Discord got it. I can't believe they did, but
I'm gonna say Packers because of the colors.
that's what I think the fourth one is. I think the fourth one might be the
That's what
Packers.
I was thinking too. I was like,
But
maybe
it's
the
hard
colors.
to-
Oh, I see. So I'm not looking for. Oh, I see the Saints.
Yeah, so everyone has seen the Saints logo in the top right.
Right.
Yeah.
There is another team that is pretty obvious.
Am I looking for logos or is it just
No,
colors?
that's the only
and
logo.
stuff?
I'll tell you, there's no other logos.
I see.
Yeah, it's
One-
I feel like it's got something to do with like the design of the locks.
Well, yeah. I
But-
mean, the Raiders. They're
No.
on the.
I think it's the. I think something has to do maybe with the show logo.
Okay. Let's see
I don't-
this.
Oh, is there
think
something
so.
in there?
That's
Is
what I
it-
would
is it
say.
Secret?
Do you,
looks
do you
like-
want
it
to,
looks
Rob? Do
like-
you want to know what the one that only you apparently haven't gotten yet?
Okay. Yeah. Hit me.
Look at the bottom middle.
Bottom middle. Okay.
He's,
Yep.
He's
You
being
can-
sneaky.
3 Cowboys
Nice.
talk about football? Is that what it's?
There you
You
go.
know,
Okay.
I even read that too, but it just like yeah.
Okay, you guys want the blow your mind one?
Yeah, let's see the blow.
Look at the first letter of all the titles.
Are you kidding?
You son
Oh
of a
my
bitch.
BILLS.
It's
I couldn't fucking believe that shit,
amazing.
man.
Jesus Christ!
That's some crazy shit.
I was
My God.
wondering why. I was wondering why they used the term leveraging. That just,
Yeah.
a little bit-
this is. Can I just mention? This is so much higher quality content than what we
Way
produce on this
above and
podcast.
beyond, dude, yeah.
We are-
Dude, what is the name of those images where like you have to stare at the center and it's all like pixelated
Oh, yeah.
and then like it comes to life once you like blur your vision? I'm sure that's
Yeah, it's
fucking
like
one of
those.
them is just hidden in the back
Oh,
layers
yeah.
of the image somewhere.
I'm
all right.
trying it.
Well,
I
it
think
is.
I think they're called auto stereograms or something
Sure,
like that.
yeah, that
I
sounds
think you're
right.
right. Yeah.
So did we find? So we've got
The fourth one we don't know.
Saints-
Yeah, we don't
no
know.
one has
Saints,
found it yet. I
Cowboys.
think it
I'm
could be the
sure it's-
Packers.
I'm pretty sure.
I
it's
don't
the
think it is.
Packers.
I think Sinvicta locked the. Or wait, I don't know.
It's
Actually, it
either
might
that
be.
or it's either that or the Broncos for the something secret tab then, because if we look at the color of the banners, like they all match pretty much our team logos, and
Yeah.
then the fourth one,
Oh, that would make sense. Yeah.
fourth
Yeah,
one has
maybe.
to be.
Mhm.
I would assume the Broncos.
It could be Broncos, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we got to do pick'ems because I got to go in like 10 minutes.
Oh,
All right.
All
We got
right.
Alpha something with our
Go.
assistant coach pick of the week. He's the best I think I've seen at picking the Chiefs. I know they've all been good, but 16-1 is pretty
16-1.
outstanding.
16-1 is quite. Yeah.
12-5 at picking the Bills and 12-6 at picking the Niners. So I'm probably going to go with his picks.
All right.
Yeah.
Jaguars, Chiefs.
This is tough.
Man,
You know what? This
we
isn't
just
about.
said it.
This isn't about trying to win anymore. If I already won the regular season, I don't need to win. Give me the Jags, dude. I'm going with my heart.
Oh,
Here's
I
the
love
thing.
it.
I'm
about
going
how
to win,
hard you
and I'm
can
still
get
going
hit.
Jags.
Oh my god.
I'm picking Jags just because I want them to win.
Ah.
So I'm gonna lock the Chiefs.
Hey,
Oh my
there
God.
he goes. What do you think, Rob?
It's hard to argue with 16-1.
I know that's what I was gonna say, man. I was like,
Yeah.
y'all are going against like near perfection on the record so far. I think I'm gonna go with Alpha here. He's going with the Chiefs. I'm going with the Chiefs.
Me
I'm getting
those
the Chiefs.
Jags.
Yeah. I mean, the Chiefs will probably win anyway, but I'm going
Yeah.
Jags. Giants, Eagles.
We got a Giants lock from Alpha. So
I'm gonna
That
be less
is
fun on
Giants
this one.
lock.
I'm gonna take the Eagles on this one.
I'm actually going to lock the Eagles. I don't see the Giants winning.
yeah, I'm gonna take the Eagles here too. I don't think the Giants go any further than this.
Eagles.
All right, fine. I'll take the Giants.
Yay!
I'll take the. I believe in them. Plus, I'm rooting
right.
for them. Actually,
That's true.
being
Yeah.
a,
New
if they-
Yorkian.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
you and Alpha, you got it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Let's do this.
Bengals, Bills. Woo.
Give
Man.
me the Bengals.
Oh,
Game
I,
of
Eagles seem to
the
have their
week.
number in this matchup, dude.
they do.
So Alpha
think it's-
something is good at picking the Bills.
He's got those
and
Bills picks.
He thinks that they're gonna lose.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's look,
they think,
Bills
excuse me.
were my just like last year. My pick for the Super Bowl is in the playoffs, and they're looking good. I gotta stick with them to the end. I'm locking the Bills.
Okay, I
Wow.
like that.
I actually want the Bills to win the most too, so I'm picking the Bills.
I'm gonna go with the Bengals.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm gonna. I'm gonna take the Bills, but it's under duress. Someone's got a gun to my head right now.
Oh no.
So yeah,
It's not a good way to live, Rob.
Yeah, we should
No, I
probably
know,
deal with
it's-
that, but I guess we could
it's
finish
just a bad
pick'ems first.
neighborhood.
Probably
You
call the
know,
police.
got a lot to do about it.
I'm the
49.
one holding the gun, so
He's
Fucking
right.
super
yeah.
locking the 49ers, man.
yeah. I mean, if
We're
you
locking
if
the
you want to
49ers.
win, you think this is your lock.
I am
49ers.
also going to lock the 49ers. That was who I was.
Yeah.
Yep,
I was
yep.
planning on locking.
And
Shake
I
hands
will
on that
be
agreement.
taking the 49ers.
I'm taking the Cowboys.
Oh,
crazy.
doing it.
They have a long history, you know.
They
the
do have a
Cowboys.
long history, Rob.
Look, I feel like the narrative,
Thank
the
you,
Brock
Rob.
Purdy narrative,
No,
has to come
the Cowboys and Niners.
crashing
Oh, okay.
down. I think it has to come crashing
There's
down.
so much more around the Purdy narrative, though, man. That's a simple, that
yeah,
merely
but
a
he's the
column.
quarterback, and he's gonna throw like 3 interceptions, and then the Cowboys are gonna win by 7 points. And I'm gonna look like Nostradamus. You're gonna be like, "What the fuck? 7 points, 3 interceptions."
Okay.
Why
That's
would you
Okay.
wish this country music bullshit on us?
This country music bullshit.
Every time when the Cowboys scored a fucking touchdown, they played some "I love my truck" and some beers, and like before it went to break.
For the army.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, the
and I
Cowboys,
learned a new reason to dislike the Cowboys. Is
Did
that they'll
you
play
see those
country fucking
emails?
music.
The Cowboys haven't won a divisional playoff game, I think, since like 1995 or 4 or something.
Yes, yeah.
That's a lot.
fucked my sister.
We apologize to the vast majority of our viewership that is from the South and enjoys country music. Yeah.
And doesn't.
For the record, I didn't contribute to any of that.
I didn't either.
I'm from the South. I'm allowed.
Here we go. It's Randy time, folks.
Oh, Alpha went with the Niners
Yeah.
as
Which also he's good at picking. So
Yeah,
another
so he's
reason I
probably
picked
got
the
it.
Niners, yeah.
Randy takes the Jaguars.
Let's go,
Yeah.
Randy.
Randy takes the Eagles.
Yeah.
Randy takes the Bengals.
well.
And Randy takes the Cowboys.
Yeah.
And
You and me,
Randy
Randy.
has also locked the Eagles.
Okay.
Good luck,
That's
Randy.
good.
Good
That's
luck.
All right.
And that's gonna do it. Thanks everybody for listening, watching, whatever you're doing. Like, comment, subscribe, share, whatever. And we'll see you next week on Playoff.
Playoffs.
Bye-bye.